Hi guys, Peter Finch here down at the Quest Golf Academy, and today is the next part in the series of how to add more power into your golf swing. Now we've already crossed off the list, the setup and the grip, the takeaway, the wrist hinge and the body turns, and now we are on to the transition part of the swing. How you can move from the top of the swing down into the first part of the downswing and then start to rotate into the ball. The videos that I've already done are listed here, and I would recommend that you watch them first before getting into this part of the swing. However, this can be used as a standalone video as well. The transition part of the swing is so important because it's where all your hard work during the setup and the backswing starts to be delivered down into the ball. There are a lot of swings that go wrong at this point, so it's very important to make sure that your transition is correct. Now the first thing we're going to speak about within the transition, in a slightly strange way, seems this is a power driving, power moving, high speed video series, is actually slowing the swing down as you get to the top. It is so frustrating when you see people get up to the top of the swing, get into some great positions and then rush down at the ball. It is that point where they are wasting energy and they are not getting their body into the correct positions to hit the ball as far as possible. Rory Mcilroy is the prime example of this. He has a big, wide, smooth backswing, and his transition from the top of the swing into his downswing is unbelievable. It's only after this point in the swing where he moves the club downwards where he starts to pile on the power. Now, if that works for Rory, who's one of the best drivers in the game, I'm sure it can work for you. So first things first, how can we work on our transition? Really, there are a few drills that you can use on this, but you don't need anything special. All you need is the thought process and the feeling of being able to slow down the top of the golf swing as it moves down into the through swing. Now you can do that with a very simple pause drill. So getting yourself set up, taking it up to the top of the swing with that big turn, and just before you start the downswing, just allow the hands and the arms to move very slowly down towards the right hip and feel like you're doing it in slow motion. Now from that position you can then hit a ball or you can just complete a practice swing. So it's moving it up to the top, that slow movement down, and then allowing the power to be turned on. It's a very simple drill to use. It's a very simple feeling to have. But if you do it consistently, and you do it with a vigor, and you do it with enough time added into it, then it can work. God, giving a speech to you. So getting that setup position. Ah dear, been a long day down here so far. Getting that setup position, that nice big backswing, that big turn, then just that slight pause at the top, allowing the arms to drop down, and then starting to add on the power. I'm not saying that I want you to swing like that, but what I'm saying is if you can stop and you can control that transition period, then you're going to be in a much better position to hit the ball well. So that's what you want to be doing with the hands and the arms at the top of the swing, but what about the rest of the body? Because the initial movement from the top of the backswing isn't usually made by the hands and the arms, it is made by the lower half. It is made by the weight transferring left and the hips and the feet and the legs starting to become engaged with the downswing. As you swing up to the top and your body is nicely rotated, you want to be feeling like that left hip is bumping towards the target. Now that bump towards the target engages the lower half and it gets the weight shifting onto the left side. Also, as it starts to move off to the left side, it starts to help that hip to rotate and to clear out of the way. That is such a key movement during the transition, because if you do get too handsy, if you do get too armsy, then you're likely to throw the club over the top and not be able to generate the amount of power that you'd like to. Now, why, you may ask, did I then start talking about the transition with the hands and the arms? It's because you need these things to be working together. You need them to be working in harmony. The hips will move first, the weight will transfer first, but we are talking by fractions of seconds. If you really look at a Rory Mcilroy, if you look at their swings, that movement from the top, that transition of the hands moving down towards the body and those hips moving towards the target, really they are a synchronized movement. We need these things to be meshed together. Now, for a practice purpose and for a drill purpose, you can work on those feelings individually, but you can also work on them at the same time as well. So getting into a setup, up to the movement from the top of the swing, and then it's down with the hip towards the target, and that slow movement down towards the body with the hands and the arms. Loads and loads of repetitions of there, and then there, and then there. Slowing that point of the swing down and allowing you to get the club moving into a position where you can attack the ball from an inside and up swing dynamic. That is very important, and that is what we'll get onto in the next video. So, up to the top, I've worked on that transition. I'm going to move the hip left, and I'm going to allow those hands and the arms to drop down towards my right hip in a synchronized, slow motion. Oh, that felt very, very nice. That felt very good indeed. Drawing it left, but a nice solid strike. And that was that movement of that pause, that transition, allowing the hands to drop down and doing them in synchronization. So, thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Follow me on my other social media platforms linked in the description below. And please check out the other videos. And as always, comment below. I'd love to know what you guys think. I'd love to have your engagement on this as well. Next time, we're up into impact and how you should be moving the club through the ball.